Panamera. Let's go. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working with today. Okay, beautiful. Let's get going. Okay, first things first, we want to get some double-sided tape on this. This does not leave any residue behind on the wheel in itself. So tape this up a couple of times over in multiple spots. Okay, so just a couple of pieces here and there. Now that we've got these on, we want to just peel them. Alright. Now we take our cover and fit it on to roughly where it's going to be. Make sure you always put on the correct way. That's a mistake that may happen at times, believe it or not. And you want to line this up absolutely pitch perfect. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. This more or less looks good. This looks good. And that looks right down the center. You also want to line these grooves here with the initial grooves of the vehicle already. That will tell you if your covers are correct. Grab your thread and we're going to go top to bottom roughly 3 times because we're going to be starting off with the top section. So So 1, 2, 3. Grab your scissors. Cut that off, put this aside. Grab your needle. Thread it through. Make a knot on this end. All on one end. And that will do us. So now we're going to take this. We're going to go through the very last thread at the back and on top. And loop it from top or bottom through. Whatever way you'd like to. And your loop, your knot that you made, that's how it's coming through. Once you get to nearly the end, roughly around here, I'm going to make a knot around again, so just tie it up, loop that through, get that down tight, and loop that through. I double knot it. Now cut off the excess bit. Okay, that's for the rubbish bag. Now you're going to take our needle and loop it from the inside through one of the holes underneath it. And just pull your thread all the way through. That's gonna stay there. And with the very last one, go in from the bottom up towards the roof and straight across into the next one over. Okay, zigzag across into the next one at the back. And back across into the front. And do this all the way up until you get past this corner, about a thread or two past it. Now that we've gotten up around that corner, a couple of threads, and it's nice and tight, we're going to go into the back one, but we're going to skip it one. And then skip one at the front. And we're going to do this and so forth and so forth. Do this all the way up until we get to more or less the center marker. Now I'll jump back on, but if yours lines up and closes up fully, I can see this will not fully close up. Let down one and skip one, and I'll have to go back into single threads. So I'll resume the video back here, but if yours does with skip one, do one, I recommend you do that and jump back on the video when we get to this part. We're going to go back into single threads. Okay guys, so I'm going to switch the voice over from now on, as the customer came back to the vehicle and we spoke throughout the rest of these recordings, which is our private conversation. So what we're going to do is, once we get to the other side, we're going to go back into our single threads, and we're going to do this up until the very end. Now once we've gotten to the very last thread down here, we're going to go into the very last one on the back, and we're going to pull that through underneath the material and tuck that inside the plastic. We want to go underneath the material just because if you do play around with the material, you don't want to be pulling the thread out, which tends to happen, and the corners becoming loose again. So once you have that tucked in, take your scissors and just cut off any remaining thread that you have down there and get rid of it from your needle. Now apologies if my commentary is a tad bit slow. I am commentating on this as I am watching the videos for the first time myself. So clean up, that is a massively important part, I find, so you know where all your tools are placed. Now we're going to move on to the two bottom ends. For the bottoms I use 1.5 to 2 top to bottom measurements. So once you have that measured out, cut that off, and you're going to do the exact same as we done on the top corner. Thread one side through the needle, make a knot on the top, loop it through the back, last thread, and tie a knot at the end. So once then cut off the slack, then you're going to pierce your needle through the very last thread on the back and pull it all the way through until it becomes tight, which is what we're doing right now. And if you need to give it a good pull, nothing's going to get damaged or undone. And if it does become undone, you'll just redo on that. So loop it from bottom to top, pull it through, and straight to the first thread on the front of the steering wheel cover. And we're going to do the same, come back the opposite way into our second thread at the back, and now into the second thread in the front. We're going to do this a couple of times. I usually stick to 3 to 4 threads, depending on the vehicle. Right, and now skip one. So you're now going from the third into the fifth one in the back, and you're going to skip one up top as well, which is leading you back into your 5th thread yourself as well. Now you want to make sure your lines where the smooth Alcantara in this situation meets the perforated Alcantara line up together, and you're going to go into do one, skip one from here on. As you can see, make sure the 2 lines line up. If they do not, check how many threads you may be missing, go back and go into one of the other holes. So instead of the back one going into the 5th, go into the 4th and go into the 5th one at the front, and so forward. So you're going to do that. You're going to come to the last few threads on the side, and you're going to go back into your single threads. Then you're going to tuck in that whole corner down there at the back as well, and once again you're going to do the exact same for the opposite end down here, which is single threads for about 3 as we've done the other side, skip one, do one, and then up until the last probably about 3 threads, go back into your single ones again, and it'll end up looking the exact same as the other side. About halfway through, I like to go and tuck in the bottom. As you can see, I had a bit extra material down here, so I took my scissors and cut that off. Make sure I don't cut it off too much, as I will not have anything to tuck in, and then it will keep slipping out. Do the sides and tuck in the very back down there as well. Make sure to follow along where you've been tucking in. So get that side finished, the bottom tucked in, tuck in the other end, take your lighter, burn off any threads that you may see loose, and I'll show you the finished result now.